Hello, I got a great question on my YouTube channel and I want to address this here. And you know what's funny? I don't actually think this is anything I've ever covered before. So I work one-on-one with women who primarily, I do have male clients as well, who want to lose weight. And one thing I've seen us come up against is fasting for religious purposes or fasting due to having to have a surgery or something like a colonoscopy. And so Hobby on my YouTube channel asked me this exact question. She says, how do you fast for a few days, whether it's again for religious purposes, whether it's for an upcoming surgery and I have to, or procedure, and then avoid binging after? Oh, this is a good one. I love this question. So I've actually had many clients while working with me go through this exact process. And so what I'm going to do is share with you how I encourage them to handle this. Again, I'm not a doctor, nurse, medical professional. I'm just letting you know what I think the psychology of all of this is and why we tend to self-sabotage after we have to restrict for a few days, and then we overconsume. So you obviously are doing the process of fasting because you either truly are connected to the religious reasoning behind it, or because your doctor has requested it so you can actually have this procedure. So really getting out of the fasting part is not the option, right? We can't do that part of it. But where I see this all fall apart is how we think after the process is over and the planning for how to navigate your way back into normal eating. So let's just say you've got one of these pending situations and you're gonna do the fasting. You would eat normally leading up to the fasting. You would take the day or two of fasting, do what your doctor authorizes. But where we tend to get tripped up is we come out of that experience super excited because most of us have dropped quite a bit of weight, right? So this is more that psychology element. We see the scale go down 3-5+ pounds. We have, crazy amounts of weight loss. And what I think a lot of people do, and this is what a lot of my coaching clients do, they want to kind of continue to ride that wave. So they try to stay at kind of like a caloric deficit once that fasting period is over. And then they go, you know what? I'm so excited about these results. I want to keep these results. So I'm just going to keep dieting so that way my weight doesn't go back up. And so they try to eat, very restrictively or not enough. What I encourage as a coach is for them to go up to maintenance calories right after the process and to actually intentionally plan something they would really enjoy. So if they might normally, because what happens is when we go super restrictive after fasting for a few days, our bodies are looking for the opportunity to regain what's been lost. Our body doesn't care about our aesthetic goals. It doesn't care about our weight loss goals. It knows that you just not eaten for 2 days or 3 days or whatever, and it wants to bring the food back in. So it's gonna propel you to want to overconsume things that are highly caloric, carbs, fats, things like that. And it's going to want you to replenish what's been lost. But you mentally don't want to do that because you want to keep the weight off you've lost. So there's this battle, right? But what I find is really helpful is, let's just say your maintenance is 2,000 calories or 2,200. I would say post-surgery, plan a few days of doing that and actually put your favorite, a meal of your favorite food in there. So if you're eating a full day at 2,200 calories, just like you would have before, right? You have your breakfast, your lunch, your dinner, and you may need to eat smaller portions just because your stomach isn't feeling like it did prior, okay? But then you plan something like going to get, maybe a burger or a pizza, having it planned in, because when you are not fighting that urge and you're giving yourself permission to have it and you make it work within your maintenance calories and you're eating well through the day, you will reduce the likelihood of binge eating post the fasting windows. That has worked really well for a lot of my clients. Once you get a couple days at that level, having some of the foods you really like, and you might be fantasizing about that during the 2 days or 3 days of fasting, but you say to yourself, As soon as fasting's over, I'm going to maintenance calories. I'm gonna go out and get 2 slices of pizza or have the burger, and you eat it until you're content. And you don't force yourself to shove it all down as if it's the Last Supper, right? And you allow yourself to enjoy it. A couple days of that, 2-3 days of that, you're gonna start to feel way better balanced. You're psychologically better balanced, physically. Will some of the weight come back? Probably, but that's to be expected. When you go 2 or 3 days with no food, just the absence of food weight is gonna cause your scale weight to go down. So don't anticipate you're gonna get to keep off everything you lost. That's part of the problem. Say to yourself, okay, maybe I'm down 5 pounds on the scale or whatever. Maybe I'll be fortunate and get to keep a couple of those off. Versus, ooh, what can I do to keep it here? Can I continue to starve myself indefinitely? No, we don't want to do that, right? So we want to go up to maintenance calories. We want to plan in one thing you would maybe enjoy every day post procedure. Enjoy it till you're content. Stop there, but don't try to continue to restrict yourself, because that will eventually lead to a binge eating episode. Again, you may not physically be able to handle the amount of food, so another option would be to slowly bring your calories back up. If you're feeling super uncomfortable in your stomach because it's been 2-3 days no food, you could start out with something simple like 1,500 calories. The next day go up to 1,800. You're basically trying to work yourself back up to maintenance calories as quickly as possible. If you're super ravenous, you feel like you could actually eat to maintenance calories, you can go right to it. Will it cause the scale weight to go up a little? Yes. But is that to be expected? Yes. It's not the same thing as binging, which is, oh my gosh, I've restricted, I've gone without food 2 or 3 days, bring on everything I want and then some, I'm gonna eat it all. That doesn't help either. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to have controlled chaos, right? We're trying to bring you up to maintenance calories as quickly as possible, replenish what your body has been missing, and think of it very logically. For 2 or 3 days you've eaten nothing. Even if you eat at maintenance calories, you're still at a deficit when we average you out for the entirety of the week. So, don't let that frighten you or concern you. It's more about not allowing your mind to derail you by either overly trying to restrict and creating binge behavior, or it's not the, okay, now I've been quote unquote starving for the last 2 or 3 days, so I have this permission to eat whatever I want. No, both of those don't work, right? We know that. So what we need is something more in the middle, which is I go to maintenance calories as quickly as possible. I eat foods I'm very much accustomed to eating. I plan to have some kind of an indulgence that I actually will enjoy. And then I get myself up there, for a few days, 2-3 days. And then if I feel capable and you are on a weight loss journey, you may choose to dial it back and go back to a deficit. But I would encourage you to try to be at maintenance about equal days to fasting, if possible. I know some of the religious ones, they can tend to be like a 30-day, and so I don't know if that's gonna work for everybody. But if we're talking about a few days out of the week, it's good to balance that many days of maintenance. So for those of you who are struggling with this, I hope this tidbit helps. If you need additional assistance like Hobby did, you can always leave me a question in the comments here on YouTube. And please like and subscribe, share my videos, and let me know how I can better serve you. You guys have a great day. I'll talk to you soon.